Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment and boxing capital of the world. Well, today I'm going to have two guests, special guests, but first of all, I want to say hello to my dear friend and my co-host, Shelly Stevens. Here she is, a beautiful girl. And our guest on the show today is Daniel Evertsz, who's a tax investor. He's
Tax credit
tax
expert.
credit. He gets you all. When you need money, he's the man you want to go to besides the bank. You want to find out what's out there for you, what's available for you. You could please tell us, Mr. Evertsz, about that?
Yeah, well, it's I'm known as Uncle Dan here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And, that's the name of my business is Uncle Dan Consulting. And, bottom line is there's millions and billions of dollars out there for the for companies, but most of them don't know about it.
Right.
They don't know how to get it. And so I moved to Las Vegas in 2022,
Okay.
intending to retire. Well, it lasted about 3 months. I was bored to death, right? But I didn't want to get back into, doing financial services. So I was just blessed to meet some gentlemen who became mentors and now are great friends. And they introduced me to this whole industry I knew nothing about. Mm-hmm. I was like, what do you mean the government has all this money? And I was like, for a question, is it hard to get? And they were like, no, it's not hard to get if you know what you're doing.
You just got to apply for it. And let me ask you, is there a limit to how many people, a company, how many?
Well, generally the most popular tax credit program that I have, that one is a minimum of 10 W-2 employees.
Okay.
But I just found another company that I partner with. They'll go down to 2 W-2 employees.
Oh, there were 2 employees.
2 employees, and the benefits are awesome. And
well, what kind of money are we talking about? We're talking about how much can you get per employee?
Per employee, any company that has W-2 employees is paying payroll taxes.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So there's something called Section 125, which is an IRS code that gives benefit breaks on what you have to pay through the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
And so what this actually says is if you're bringing a program to your company that's in group, where you have a group of employees, you get these benefits. So to answer your question, the employees get great, preventative benefits like free prescriptions and free mental health counseling, which a lot of people need these days.
Oh, yeah.
And they also get online access to a doctor, free urgent care online, 24/7. So like, you need a doctor, your kid is sick in the middle of the night, you're not going to be, instead of running to the emergency room where they're going to, charge you, I don't know how much, or a whole lot of money.
Right,
You go
there a long time.
and you be there for hours. You go right on your phone, and you will have a doctor giving you a diagnosis.
Wow.
Yeah, they can diagnose it right through the phone, and if they feel that you need to go to urgent care or to the hospital, then they'll suggest that. But a lot of times it's not really needed. So those are just a few of the benefits that become. There's no cost for the employees,
Right.
and and guess what? Every employee in this program gets about $100 raise per month.
Wow.
Pretty awesome. So what does the employer
is
get?
awesome.
To answer your question,
Then-
the employer is able to take advantage of the Section 125, and they're able to save, on average about $600 per employee per year on the payroll taxes.
So how many years do they apply for?
You can do it once you get it. You can get it every year.
Every year.
You don't have to apply every year. It's just once you get it implemented into your company, it's just an every year tax credit, which is awesome.
So it's put into the system.
Yes, and we help you do that. We got the entire program, and I work with a company that sets everything up for you. So it's not a lot of heavy lifting on the company. A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be an HR headache. No, it's not, because we do everything for the company. All we need to know is who your employees are, all the basics of your employee, or do they get paid every week, every month. It's called an employee census.
Yeah.
And once they have that information, it goes to the company. They do all the heavy lifting. And I'll tell you, companies that are implementing this are loving it. Can you imagine if you had a company with, say, 1,000 employees, what you would save in payroll taxes?
There's a lot of companies with 1,000, but to really get to be more realistic. Let's say a company, let's say for anywhere from 10 to maybe 50.
10 to 50. You know, those are the people that I like helping because those are the guys, you know, small business is what makes America go.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you got a company and you just say you got 10 employees, that's 20 employees, that's $12,000 a year. A company like that can really take it. That's big for that company. And the other thing that's great about this company, a lot of those companies that we're talking about cannot afford health care. They don't have health insurance.
Right.
Well, guess what? With this program, now they got something to give to employees, and it includes an indemnity plan where if they have to go to the hospital, they'll get $1,000 when they go in and $100 a day. Stay in the hospital 30 days, at least they'll get a check for $4,000.
You know what? We should have voted for you for president.
Well, you know, too much stuff. But you know, I'm just a common sense guy who just likes to help people.
Wow.
That's cool, you know, and I'm having fun. And then I get to meet people like Joe Cortez,
There you
the
go.
most famous boxing referee ever. It's just amazing, and now I know you, and you know this has just been a great run, and I'm loving living in Las Vegas and meeting a lot of people.
That's great.
And when people hear the name Uncle Dan, that's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Actually, my husband and I, we, you know, we're a musical duo. We do a lot of parties and things like that. And now I feel like I'm getting too old to help him move equipment. So sometimes we get people to help us.
Sure.
And we're thinking about, you know, what would happen if we tried to like start our own business under our name, Twice as Nice, and you know, hire, like you said, maybe like 10 people to do something. You know, how would we get started? Like talking to you about that? We could just like give you a call and tell you what we're trying to do.
Well, I can tell you this. I can help you with that, but I'm going to tell you this. Do you really want to do that? The more employees, the more headaches
I
you have to deal with.
Okay.
So, you know, I can tell you how to do a lot of the stuff, but, you know, a lot of times, you know, I'm not a spring chicken. And I've had companies with employees, and it was just like, oh, my God, every day it's something.
Yeah.
You know? But I tell you one thing that you might be able to take advantage of. There is another tax credit that we call it the self-employed tax credit. Joe, you might be eligible for it yourself. And it was part of the, it's the last COVID tax credit. And what it does is, you know, when they came out with the PPP loans and all these different COVID credits, they didn't come up anything for like the self-employed person.
Right.
So this was, so in January of 2021, Congress passed the Family First Coronavirus Recovery Act. And what it said was that anybody who made a profit during 2020 and 21, the COVID years, that based on their net income, they're going to get some money back from the government too. So you might have some money sitting on the table you don't know about.
I've been retired for many years though.
Well, you've been making money though.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You could, but you know, it's free to find out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free to
So
find
if
out.
somebody wants to reach out to you, get information, where do they reach out?
They can just go to UncleDanConsulting.com.
UncleDanConsulting.com.
UncleDanConsulting.com. That's easy to remember. That's why I rebranded. I met a branding expert. He told me, everybody knows a Dan, but Uncle Dan, you're going to stand out.
That's it.
So
UncleDan.com.
UncleDanConsulting.com. That's right.
So anybody can call you, and if they want to reach you.
Yeah, if they want to call me direct, I share my number. I talk to people. I'm old school.
Okay, good.
My cell phone is area code 415. I'm from the Bay Area. 756-6007.
Repeat that again, please.
415-756-6007. And I will answer the phone unless I'm on with another client. But if you do call, I will see it, and Uncle Dan will call you back.
Leave a message.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
People can leave a message. I'm waiting for some money. I want to get some money in my pocket.
Everybody needs some money. Now, the one thing about the self-employed tax credit is, if you didn't make any money, they're not going to give you any money.
Right.
So if you were, say, a realtor, right? A realtor, say they made $50,000 that year, they wrote off $20,000, so they had a net of $30,000. They're going to get a percentage back from the government based on the $30,000. So even if somebody just, they netted 10, or 5, they'll get something back. I mean, free money is free money.
That's
Okay,
right.
so question. So a person who has not applied for that years gone by, could they still go back?
This ends
How many years
This is
can they go back?
this is a COVID tax credit.
Okay.
So it applies only to what you did in 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
So to answer your question, this ends April 15th, 2025.
Okay.
So your audience needs to know they need to jump on this now. If they were in insurance, if they were in real estate, if they had a small business, whatever. This is for the self-employed. This is not what's called ERC, which was for the companies.
So this until the deadline is April
15th.
15th,
The tax day.
2025.
And that money is gone. Guess what? They got
Adios, baby.
Yeah, they still got billions of dollars.
You
sitting
missed the
there.
boat.
Absolutely.
Oh wow, you wouldn't
So,
miss the
you know,
boat.
I know people procrastinate. I do sometimes as well, but don't procrastinate on this. I mean, if you were to get 1,000 or 2,000 back from the government, would you be unhappy? And this is money you knew nothing about.
Right.
That's right.
You know, it's like, come on.
Yeah, so the employer benefits a lot by doing that.
No, this is for the small guy that doesn't have any employees, like yourself. You guys made money in that year.
So that's from 2021.
For 2000, what they do is they'll calculate how much you're going to get based on 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
Those are the two COVID tax years. So this is the last stimulus from COVID, from the government, the last one.
But these I'm glad I put you on the show today, Dan, because this is information that's not out there. People don't know about this.
They have no idea.
You know,
Have no
I
idea.
mean, they should publicize this more to the viewers. That's why we brought Uncle Dan on the show today to give you guys information that's needed. Because I mean, we can all use an extra buck in our pocket, you know. And I'm glad that you're on the show to give this information. You know, again, if they want to reach out to you,
They can reach
Uncle
me.
Dan Consultants.
UncleDanConsulting.com is my website address. If you want to call me, 415-756-6007. And that's my personal cell. I could have gave you my business number, but I'm a people person. I like to talk to people. If I can help you, I'll help you.
Yeah, they don't reach you, leave a message. leave a phone number.
Absolutely. If I'm on the other line, just leave a message. I might be watching a fight or something, but I will get back to you.
Good.
I'm definitely going to have my husband give you a call.
Have
We're
him give me a
definitely gonna
call?
talk. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And I'm definitely going to come see you guys sing, too.
Great. That would be
Now you
fabulous.
perform Saturday night at
Yes,
Lola's?
Saturday nights will be at Lola's. Let's see, that's tomorrow from 6 to 10 p.m. And then also next Tuesday, we're going to be doing our tribute to Motown show at the German American Club,
You see there on the screen
which
there.
is at 1110 East Lake Mead, right near the Strip. And it's like not a private club; anybody can come. But the German Americans started it, and it's been growing and growing. ever
They've been
since
there
we're
for over 40 years.
They've been there a long time, yeah, and they have all different kinds of music there. It just so happens that Tuesday nights, the second Tuesday of every month, is our time to do a little Motown tribute.
That'd be
and they
great.
love all styles of music.
Well, tomorrow night, Saturday night, Lola's from 6 to 10, huh?
Yes.
What kind of music you got to be singing
At
there?
Lola's, we do everything. And you know what's so crazy? Last week, our performance there, we had a request from a lady that she wanted to hear We Are the World. And we were like, okay, sure. So we sang, and everybody was holding up their cameras and their phone flashlights and everything. And then, like, the day after, I believe it was, and then we found out that Quincy Jones had passed away.
Oh, that's right.
And it was just like, oh my God, that was just really weird the way she had asked for that song.
Yeah,
And,
he was one of the great ones. He's one that.
So I think I felt his presence.
Yeah, all the great singers on that night, Michael Jackson,
Yeah, everybody.
Dionne
Lionel
Warwick. I mean, everybody, all the famous
everybody.
singers were performing We Are the World.
Yeah.
And that's how we feel right now. Now that we with Dan, Uncle Dan, we are the world, buddy. They want to get all the money we can get.
All the money, good people are good people.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be having our next guest going to be a gentleman that's been around here in Las Vegas for a while, and we want to thank Uncle Dan for being on the show with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate
It was a pleasure to meet you, and we'll definitely be in touch.
So our next guest is a gentleman by the name of Ronald Gavril. Ronald Gavril is a fighter, professional fighter. He has an outstanding record, and we'll talk about it once we bring him on. Here's Ronald Gavril, he's fighting for the WBF Light Heavyweight Championship in Romania. He's got a great record. He fought David Benavidez twice. Welcome to the show, Ronald.
Thank you for having me here. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Ronald, again, now you have a record of, tell the audience what kind of record you have.
25-3 with 3 losses, and
Three losses.
yes, 3.
So out of 25 fights?
Yeah, 25 fights.
And how many knockouts?
20 knockouts.
20 knockouts.
Yes.
Now you put down David Benavidez is a guy that is a fighter. He hasn't been able to get to fight with the great Mexican fighter. His name is
Benavidez?
no Benavidez, but David Benavidez. There's 2 brothers. There's brothers, right? David, he got a brother that's also a fighter.
Yeah, also fighter.
Okay, and you fought David, the guy
Yes.
that nobody wants to fight because he's such a good fighter. But you put him down in the last round. You fought twice, and you put him down.
Yes, you're right. Like I'm like old school fighter because I will like the challenge and I will take the risk.
Yeah,
I know it's a good fighter, but I know also I'm a good fighter too.
Yeah.
So when the call come, I say yes.
Now Canelo Alvarez was there. How come Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to fight David Benavidez?
I think you know the answer. It's a risky fight for him. I think
Yeah, for David.
for Canelo
You
because
think it's an easy fight for Canelo?
no, it's risky.
Oh yeah,
It's a risk fight.
very, very, very difficult fight
Yeah,
for him.
very hard fight for him.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. He won't take any chance of losing that title.
I don't know. He should fight. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
What?
Like fire.
I think you should be in that mix too.
Why?
If David Benavidez doesn't make it, then you and Canelo Alvarez should be in there.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Maybe after this fight, maybe in May.
Yeah.
Maybe May next year.
Now you're fighting for the light heavyweight championship WBF
Yes.
in Romania, November 29th.
Yes, I'm gonna fight back home. It's my second fight in Romania.
Yeah.
You already know I have a promotion company.
Yeah.
My promotion company, and he's gonna be a second event in my country.
What's the name of your promotional company?
Gavril and Prodan Promotion.
Gavril.
And Prodan Promotion.
Okay.
And it's gonna be second event, and I'm gonna first fight I win the WBC Latino title,
Yeah.
and now it's fight for WBF, light heavyweight. Yes, title.
Okay, and then if you do good in this fight, you come out champion here again.
Yes,
You can say WBC guys, hey, come on, we got to give Ronald a shot.
yes,
And we're talking to Mauricio Suleiman. If you're watching the show, buddy, this man is ready. He's past due. I mean, if you fought David Benavidez twice and put him down in the first fight in the 12th round, that man deserves some credit. You know, I think a good fight for our good friend Ronald is needed. If you're watching, Mr. Suleiman, please make it happen, okay?
he'll
All right.
make it. He'll make it. He'll
Yeah,
make it
he'll
happen.
make it, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so what else? How's boxing today compared to when you first started compared to today? How was the difference?
I think people don't take the risk. They're looking for easy fights. They're looking to be undefeated, and people they don't love that. The people who want to see the good fights. And I like what the promoter from Saudi Arabia,
Yeah?
who make a great fight.
Have a lot of great fights out there.
He made great fights.
Have you got an offer to fight there yet?
Not yet, but soon.
Yeah.
Yes,
You think it's coming, eh?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like what he do for boxing community. He put all the good fights together and make beautiful events.
And there's a prince out there. What's his name? You got to meet
Yeah,
him?
Turkish Alashish.
You got to meet him?
Maybe in the future.
If you-
I didn't meet him yet, but in the future I will.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, that's people. That's boxing is today. The people like him to put all the fights together like UFC did.
Yeah, in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Did I read somewhere that you have a fight coming up in Tijuana? And did it happen already? December 14th, I read somewhere.
It's not signed yet. It's not
Okay.
signed. We was in a negotiation, but it didn't happen.
Okay.
So maybe next year.
Yeah, because you fight in November 29th,
Yeah.
and December 14th is only a couple of weeks
Yeah,
after that.
yeah.
It's going to be tough. Even though back in the old days, the fellow who got me started in boxing, his name was Gaspar Ortega from Tijuana in 1955. And then in 1964, he fought 29 times in 1964. 29 times. He was fighting 2 or 3 times a week. They don't do that anymore these days.
My
But the Gaspar, great, may he rest in peace. He's the one that got me started in boxing. I met him when I was 12 years old, and I started boxing when I was 15. But Gaspar Ortega, you fans out there, check him out on BoxRec. You can see he had 185 professional fights. And he fought Ian McGriff for the title once, and Ian McGriff gave him a shot. but Gavril lost by technical knockout, and he lost another fight by technical knockout against Sandro Masinga in Italy a couple of years later. Twice he's been stopping his whole career with 185 professional fights. But can you imagine? You look at Boxer Gavril Ortega, 29 times he fought. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
In 1 year? That's unbelievable, unheard of.
Yeah.
They don't allow that anymore.
Yeah,
But his manager felt, it was time for him to pack it in. So they said, let's just do a road show. So they were fighting in Tijuana, and then in Juarez and Laredo. And I fought on some of those cars with him. I was his sparring partner. He used me for speed. And Gavril Ortega was amazing. A good teacher, taught me a lot of tricks, a lot of stuff that I learned.
Mexico have a great champions. Mexico produced a lot of champions.
Yeah. Ever since then. But Gavril was the first. There were, I think, maybe one other fighter, but Gavril was the first in the history of boxing to fight from Mexico in the United States, Gavril Ortega. Yeah. His son happens to be a referee here. Mike Ortega is a referee.
Okay.
But we have you here now. The story's about you, Ronald. I mean, we want to see you climb up the ladder to the next level. I know you got to make it of a world champion, and I'm sure you got your brother here in the audience. Your brother's he wants to be maybe an MMA guy eventually, right?
Yeah.
I read somewhere that you have brothers that were fighters as well. Is that true? Yeah.
Not him. The other brothers, the
Okay.
biggest than me. They do Romania
Oh,
amateur.
okay.
And the heavyweight and the cruiserweight.
Is that what made you want to get into boxing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because of them. And I follow up. I follow them, and I keep going, because I want to become champion.
Yeah. Now, when was the last fight that you lost? What year?
2018 with Benavides.
Benavides was the last loss you had? 2018?
Yes,
Okay. And you fought him twice?
twice.
Yeah. And you say you want to get even because a lot of people felt that you won the first fight and they gave it to him. The second one, he won the unanimous decision.
Yes.
But in the first fight, he won the split decision, right?
Right.
One judge gave it to you.
To me.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to make into I think you deserve they call it trilogy to have the third fight and even to score out, right?
Yes, I deserve that trilogy, and not only him. I will love to fight all those guys in my division, like Berlanga, like Munguia, like Canelo, all these guys.
All of that, they're more than you from 160 to 175, right?
After the fight, Benavides twice, it was very hard for me to get on these tough fights.
Nobody wanted to fight you.
Why?
Because you gave Benavides a hell of a run. He was like, he was being chased all over the place.
Thank you. Nobody wants to take the risk, actually.
Right.
That was the problem. So it was very hard for me to stay in activity in boxing.
Right.
Plus the COVID coming up.
Yeah. So all these years that you've been fighting, you fought nothing but the best. Some of the best. I mean, David Benavides, one of the toughest fighters to fight, and yet you fought him twice.
Yes.
Yes. And Canelo Alvarez, Saul Canelo Alvarez, that's the one who gave him a shot.
Maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah, maybe they should give you a shot. You don't Benavides, if Saul Canelo Alvarez doesn't give a shot to Benavides, give it to the young man here. Give it to the man, Ronald Gavril. He's
also, I was in San Diego sparring Canelo for a month.
You were, well, month?
Yeah.
How do you handle him?
Very good.
Very good, no problem,
No problem.
Yeah, you got the height, you got the reach.
Everything.
You got the punch.
I have a jab, I have a movement, feet, everything.
Yeah, right. You got it.
I did very good.
And so he said, and they said, if you fight him, he said, they don't want to fight
Who
you.
knows? Maybe next year.
I hope you get it because you deserve it. You've been around, and how young are you now?
38?
You're 38?
Yes.
You look like 28.
Oh, thank you.
He does.
Yeah, you surprised me with that, eh?
Yeah.
But I saw you sparring. I missed your sparring session yesterday because I had business, but I saw you working out the day before. I see you're a good combination, good power punching. You got a good body shot. You got good jab, good right hand.
Yeah.
I mean, you got punching power.
Plus experience.
Yeah. A lot of experience. And I think you're gonna go a long ways. There's a lot of fighters. I mean, look, I referee Mike Tyson 8 times, okay? And Mike Tyson, when he had his last fight was 15 years ago. And I referee against Kevin McBride.
Oh.
That fight was in
Vegas?
No, that was in Washington D.C.
Okay.
And I had to stop the fight. I told Mike, that's it. After the sixth round, that was it. But Mike had some power. And he was getting up in age, And here he is now. He's 58 years young. I say young because he still looks young. And I don't want to say 58 years old.
Yes.
You know, just like myself. I'm 81 years young.
I got it.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
but something about Mike Tyson, at 38, you're still young. You still got a little spark of your flash. You still got some going.
Yes. Yes.
You still got the punching power, sort of. You got reflexes. You got good.
Yeah, because I was dedication, eating healthy, be like a good life.
Yeah, you live a
Yeah.
good, clean life. Yeah, good, clean life,
life,
and
yes.
keep yourself on the right track. And that's important. You work out a
Very
lot.
important,
You
yeah.
never take time off. You're always working, always working.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, your promotional company, how many years you have the promotional company in Romania?
Just opened this year,
Huh?
and my first event was in May when I was fighting there in May.
May
It's
of
the
last
second
year?
one.
Okay.
So hopefully they're gonna go well, and I think it's gonna go well because all the young kids, young people wants to become a champion.
Now, you have a fiancée, and she also promotes soccer, right?
Yes, she's a soccer agent, and now she's my partner in this business. in
Oh.
boxing.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you about your personal life. We talked about your boxing life. I was just wondering, were you married? Do you have kids? Or
Oh.
I have a picture of you and this lady that he was at the gym, at your gym. And I
Oh,
was just
okay.
wondering,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that,
yeah.
there's a picture right
Yeah,
there.
that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
That's right. That's in there.
Is
My
that your
gym.
girlfriend?
Yes,
Oh,
my girlfriend.
she's beautiful.
She's the biggest soccer agent in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's a boxing promoter too.
Good for her.
And she's more than
Right.
boxing and soccer.
Yes, both.
That's
So
wonderful.
if you don't do the boxing good, she's going to soccer you. Well, I tell you, you know what? It's so nice to have a boxer on the show. You're still pretty sharp. You got it all together. You know, you don't take much of a beating your whole career. Before these guys tried to get you, you knocked out 20 of your 23 wins. 20 of them you knocked out, huh?
Yes.
I mean, somebody tell me I'm going to fight somebody with 20 knockouts, I'm going to kind of say, well, you know what? I don't know. I'm going to fight this guy or not. Even though I never chicken out for nobody, but I can see why people don't want to fight you, man.
Thank you.
You got the punching
That's
power.
the reason. That's the reason, and I have to working hard to get those fights.
Yeah.
You
So
have
hopefully
to
next
bring
year.
him to Lola's. My husband's also a big fan of yours,
Yeah.
big boxing fan.
Yeah, we got to bring
Yeah.
you to Lola's. Lola's where they perform on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Lola's tomorrow night from 6 to 10, right? Lola's here in Summerlin, Las Vegas. Well, you got you fans, I tell you, boxing is a great sport to be involved with, you know, but what I like about boxing, I get to meet so many people like Ronald and Uncle Dan, and bring them on the show, talk about different topics, not only boxing, I bring people talk about finances, doctors, lawyers, people from all walks of life like to be on the show because this is where we learn a little bit more of what we thought we knew something about. We didn't know. Like a lot of you folks didn't know much about Ronald Gavril. Ronald Gavril is an outstanding fighter. I can tell you, me being a referee and been in boxing for over 65 years of my life, I can tell you, this man got the making of a champion. And when I met David Haney, he was 10 years old. I saw this kid boxing this tournament, PAL tournament up in Mesquite, Nevada. I said, young man, come here. Who's your trainer? He said, my dad. Bring him over here. And I told him, Mr. Haney, this kid is championship material. He was 10 years old. I got a picture of him when he was 10. Then I got a picture with him when he's 20 years old, WBC lightweight champion of the world. So I know a little bit about boxing. I can tell good talent when I see it. And when I see Ronald Gavril fight, and I see him work out, and I see his background, his history, the man is the making of a champion. You're still going to get that title. They should give you that title tomorrow. You know?
Yep.
That's how I feel. You know?
November 29 in Romania.
Romania.
WBF title, and after that, next year gonna be big year for me.
Big
All
year.
those guys like Berlanga, like Plant, like Canelo, Benavides, all those guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
I'm ready for them. Yes.
Yeah, well, Caleb's Plant was a former middleweight champion,
Yes.
and he got stopped by Canelo.
You see?
Yeah, but now it'll be good for him to give you a shot.
Yep.
You see what you can do with Caleb Plant. Yeah, Caleb Plant was originally from Texas. He lives here in Nevada now,
Yeah.
and he still lives here, and he's working out here. Have you got to spar with him yet?
I never sparred him.
That's fine. And maybe he doesn't want to spar with you.
I want to fight him. So far.
Well, fans, I'm glad you guys came out to watching the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, the entertainment boxing capital of the world. We're trying to get you guys to come and join us whenever we can. Please like, subscribe, and share this show as much as you can, because we want all our viewers to see and learn more about the Joe Cortez Show, what we do here. I used to be a referee, but now I'm just trying to share my knowledge and wisdom with you guys out there, always paying it forward. And I was saying, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Keep your guards up at all times. Guys, thank you so much, Ronald, for being on the show. Shelly, thank you so much again as my co-host. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. God bless.